The time has come, pilgrim of knowledge. Do you feel that subtle, yet inescapable, pressure in the ether around you? The air itself vibrated differently 7 suns ago, heralding this convergence. You have not found this message by accident. The universe does not operate under the tyranny of chance. If the ancient cosmic cryptography is true, and it is, a text is materializing in your vibrational field, a tome whose pages are written with the indelible ink of your redeemed destiny. This is not a physical book. It is a consciousness that is installed in the matrix of your soul 7 days before the architecture of your reality fractures and is rebuilt under new laws of majesty. We are about to unveil the codes that transcend common understanding, the keys to the hidden mastery that have been denied you by the veil of collective illusion. Prepare to abandon linearity and accept that you are, in essence, a dimensional architect. Allow the seed of doubt to burn and give way to the absolute certainty that control of your existence has never resided outside of you. Those who are ready for transmutation do not doubt. They simply nod and open their inner vessel. If these words resonate in the ethereal filaments of your being, if you feel the urgency of ancestral truth, I ask for a sacred exchange of energy. Affirm your intention with a like to seal this pact. Subscribe to the flow of perpetual wisdom and decree in the ether, at this moment, the access code, I seek the truth. The law of attraction, contrary to modern simplifications that reduce it to a mere trivial visualization exercise, is the first hermetic principle, the metaphysical backbone upon which the cosmos weaves its manifested reality. It is the law of cause and effect, elevated to the realm of frequency. You must understand that the universe is not a paternalistic entity that listens to your pleas with a selective ear, but a vast and impeccable resonance mechanism. As inscribed on the most ancient tablets of forbidden knowledge, those not even mentioned in the polished versions of the Emerald Tablet, as above, so below, as within, so without. This is not poetry, it is interdimensional physics. The universe, in its majesty, does not judge the content of your output, it simply matches the frequency. If you emit the wave of fear, lack, or unworthiness, the cosmic matrix, with absolute mathematical precision, will return to you experiences calibrated exactly to that low octave. If your internal frequency is a perpetual lament for what is missing, the universe, which is the personification of the perfect echo, will respond with more circumstances that justify your lament. Manifestation is not an act of supplication, but a declaration of the vibrational identity you have already adopted. The difficulty lies in the fact that most human beings emit one vibration, while their conscious mind demands another, creating a dissonance that the universe simply ignores. The fundamental truth you must anchor today is that your destiny, your current state of wealth or hardship, love or loneliness, is not a divine punishment or reward, but the perfect and scientific response to the sum total of the vibrations emitted by your deepest beliefs, those that reside in the impregnable sanctuary of your subconscious. It is time to stop perceiving the exterior as the source of your problems and begin to recognize it as the immaculate mirror of your own frequency. This law operates through the alchemy of thought, which is the first form of energy detectable by the unified field. Every thought you harbor, every internal dialogue you weave in the silence of the night, is not a passing entity. It is a vibrational seed. Imagine your mind not as a simple data processor, but as the generator of a radio transmission tower of incalculable power. Your feelings, then, are the amplifiers that raise the power of that signal. The law of attraction responds not to what you want, but to what you are at the moment of transmission. The law demands consistency from you. What is the point of reciting affirmations of opulence if your physical body is constricted by debt and your fundamental emotion is the panic of lack? The universe detects the dominant vibrational signature. If your signal is, "I have lack and expect abundance," the universe can only process the first half, the one charged with emotion. For this reason, many fall into the trap of failed manifestation because they try to deceive the energetic field with empty words. What you send into the vortex of creation is the inescapable fusion of belief, the subconscious narrative, and feeling, the biological reaction. Synchronicity, this phenomenon that so astonishes us, is not a whim. It is irrefutable proof that your vibration has reached the point of alignment with your desire, and the universe begins to reorganize the dimensional thresholds to deliver you the physical form that corresponds to that frequency. It is the invisible architecture of destiny responding to your request for a state of being. We must dismantle the fallacy that destiny is a predetermined route written in stone by some capricious deity. The law of attraction is the mechanism that guarantees your continued free will. You are, moment by moment, co-creators of your path, not mere pawns on a cosmic chessboard. Confusion arises when people blame bad luck or external forces for their misfortunes. This avoidance is the poison that perpetuates the victim cycle. If you don't accept that the reality around you is a mathematical reflection of your inner landscape, you will never be able to change the source of the emission. The law of attraction works perfectly. If you attract chaos, it is because chaos has found a comfortable home in your internal belief structure. Resistance to this truth is resistance to your own sovereignty. Consider the ancient texts that spoke of the illusion machine. These did not refer to the physical world, but to the unexamined human mind, which, plagued by inherited programs of fear and limitation, operates as a faulty loop repeating patterns of scarcity. The law operates on these subconscious programs, often contrary to your conscious pleas. The universe doesn't read your handwritten wish list, it reads the architecture of your mental temple, especially those dark chambers where beliefs reside that you are unworthy, that money is dirty, or that love is pain. The law only carries out the directive of the dominant belief. The true power of this universal law lies in the act of belief, the unwavering faith that precedes all material evidence. This compels us to cross the quantum threshold, where the observer's consciousness collapses the probability wave into the particle of reality. The universe is a field of infinite possibilities, floating in a state of superposition. Your thought, charged with emotion, the feeling, acts as the switch that selects and solidifies one of those infinite versions. For manifestation to be activated, you must inhabit emotionally and with absolute certainty the state of "I already am" or "I already have." Faith, in this context, is not a vain hope. It is the undeniable knowledge that, although physical evidence may not yet exist in the three-dimensional plane, manifestation is already complete and perfect in the etheric plane. Can you feel the texture of that richness you desire, not as a future aspiration, but as a present reality? Can you walk in the certainty of that loving relationship, even if your physical present is one of loneliness? This is the acid test of the law. The universe demands that you become what you ask for before it is given to you. Faith is the vibratory bridge. Without it, your desires remain stranded on the shore of fantasy, unable to cross the river of materialization. Manifestation requires being, not just asking. Therefore, the law of attraction is neither morally good nor bad. It is a principle of impeccable and a personal causality. Its operation is as constant as gravity, and your ability to utilize it depends not on your merit, but on your frequency alignment. If you observe your current reality as a perfect feedback loop of your internal state, frustration dissipates and is replaced by empowerment. When you attract resistance, it is not that the law has failed. It is that your internal frequency is transmitting resistance. When you attract abundance, it is because you have tuned into the frequency of internal sufficiency. The key to all manifestation mastery lies in mastering this internal alchemy, the calibration of feeling and belief. But how do we achieve this absolute alignment? How do we make feeling so powerful that doubt dissolves and faith becomes the sole compass of our being? The answer lies in understanding that thought is only half the equation. The other half, the one that truly ignites the engine of creation, is the power of feeling and belief. If thought is the seed, feeling is the fertile soil where that seed germinates, a terrain we will explore below, revealing why the simple act of desiring is a sterile act without the emotional charge that seals it. The river of materialization. Manifestation requires being, not just asking. Therefore, the law of attraction is neither morally good nor bad. It is a principle of impeccable and a personal causality. Its operation is as constant as gravity, and your ability to utilize it depends not on your merit, but on your frequency alignment. If you observe your current reality as a perfect feedback loop of your internal state, frustration dissipates and is replaced by empowerment. When you attract resistance, it is not that the law has failed, it is that your internal frequency is transmitting resistance. When you attract abundance, it is because you have tuned into the frequency of internal sufficiency. The key to all manifestation mastery lies in mastering this internal alchemy, the calibration of feeling and belief. But how do we achieve this absolute alignment? How do we make feeling so powerful that doubt dissolves and faith becomes the sole compass of our being? The answer lies in understanding that thought is only half the equation. The other half, the one that truly ignites the engine of creation, is the power of feeling and belief. If thought is the seed, feeling is the fertile soil where that seed germinates, a terrain we will explore below, revealing why the simple act of desiring is a sterile act without the emotional charge that seals it. The law of attraction is, in its purest and most devastating essence, the universal law of correspondence manifested on the material plane, and it is imperative that we transcend the simplistic view that reduces it to mere requests to the cosmos. It is not an optional esoteric tool, it is the very structure of reality. The universe not only responds to your thoughts, the universe is the vibrational resonance of your constant internal state. This law operates under an irrefutable principle of quantum causality. Like attracts like. Your destiny is not a pre-written script by some capricious deity, but the sum total and holographic reflection of the dominant frequency you emit in every moment of your conscious and unconscious existence. What you call luck or misfortune is nothing more than the impeccable materialization of your personal energetic signature, a frequency dictate that the unified field honors without judgment or exception. For this law to function as an engine of creation, it requires perfect congruence between the manifestation triad, thought, emotion, and deep belief. Thought initiates the design, but it is emotion, the deep feeling, that gives the vibrational signal its power and reach. A simple mental intention without the emotional charge of conviction is a weak wave that dissolves into cosmic noise. In fact, it can even generate a repulsive effect when perceived as an internal lie. Only when feeling aligns with thought, when you feel the reality of what you wish to manifest, before it materializes physically, only then does that signal reach the clarity and intensity necessary to be recognized and materialized by the quantum field. The law of attraction, being a cosmic mirror that has no filtering capacity, does not reflect your superficial words, but your underlying vibration, the inaudible tone of your soul and your true expectation. If we accept this premise of vibrational causality, the fatality of destiny collapses. Destiny is no longer a fixed route determined by the past, but a trajectory continually redefined by the quality of your current frequency. You are the architects of your future reality, not by virtue of your initial physical actions, but by virtue of the persistent alignment of your internal state. The difficulty many encounter lies in erratic fluctuation. They emit a high frequency of desire in the morning when they meditate or affirm, and a low frequency of doubt, lack, and unworthiness at night when the ego takes over. The universe, upon receiving this mixed signal, is forced to create a mixed reality, filled with unfulfilled promises and fleeting opportunities. Mastery lies in holding the frequency of unconditional certainty, anchoring the desired future self in the matrix of the present self with an unwavering faith that is not merely vain hope, but profound vibrational knowledge. Here lies the crucial turning point, the revelation that distinguishes the master from the perpetual seeker who never gets consistent results. The law of attraction responds primarily to your most deeply held subconscious beliefs, not your conscious pleas. You can recite affirmations of wealth and prosperity in front of the mirror for hours, trying to trick the mind. But if at the core of your being, the script engraved in your childhood or by past traumas tells you that you are insufficient, unworthy, or that money is the root of evil and therefore dangerous, the universe will ignore the surface affirmation and respond to the dominant limiting belief that holds the greatest energetic charge. Destiny is controlled by vibration, and vibration is governed by core belief. This is why the true alchemical task is not to beg for the reality you desire, but to purify the subconscious, dismantling the internal pacts of lack and replacing them with the visceral conviction of absolute worthiness and creative sovereignty. Understanding the law of attraction as a universal law is accepting full and unmitigated responsibility for the matrix of your life experience. This entails a definitive transition from the role of victim of external circumstances to that of sovereign creator of reality. Your vibration is your cosmic currency, and your belief is the vault where its value and purchasing power are stored. The universe, being infinitely just, impeccable, and impersonal, can only materialize that which you hold as undeniable truth in your deepest core. The final and ultimate question, then, is not what you want to attract, but what kind of being you must become for that attraction to manifest instantly and inevitably. But to change the belief, we must first identify the source of the limiting vibration, that deep shadow that distorts the signal and sabotages manifestation. Where does the true center of power reside that dictates whether your frequency is one of abundance or scarcity? And how can we rewrite that primal code that operates silent and all-powerful from the depths of the self that you do not yet know? The true center of power, the one that dictates the matrix of your experience, resides in the indissoluble nexus between belief, unconditional faith, and feeling, the emotional resonance of assumed truth. The belief it manifests is not a weak wish or an intellectual hope, but an ontological certainty. It is knowing, at the core of your being, that the desired outcome is not a future possibility, but an accomplished fact in the timeless present of consciousness. This state of being is the posture of the accomplished fact. It is the internal alchemy that reverses Newtonian logic. For on this plane of creation, testimony, physical evidence, does not precede faith, but is inexorably forced to materialize as the belated response to the truth you have already sworn to and upheld in your inner temple. For manifestation to be activated and precipitated from the realm of potential into the tangible, the vibrational emission must correspond to the already realized reality. This requires that you shed the frequency of lack and occupy the emotional state of absolute possession and profound gratitude for that which your physical eyes do not yet perceive. Feeling is not a mere accessory. It is the universal language that the subconscious understands and the only force capable of imprinting the new truth in the deepest layers of the psyche. If your current feeling is one of struggle, doubt, or waiting, the vibration emitted will be that of the absence of desire, and the universe can only reflect with terrifying mathematical precision that same absence, perpetuating the cycle of unrealization. The key lies in transcending the logical mind, that vigilant guardian that constantly demands sensory evidence as proof. Faith, belief imbued with feeling, is the only solvent capable of neutralizing the resistance of the critical mind and injecting the new programming directly into the subconscious, the true operational center of the law. The feeling that the objective is fulfilled, joy, peace, satisfaction, acts as an emotional saturator, ensuring that the new paradigm is not dismissed as a mere daydream. Without this sustained emotional saturation, without living immersed in the atmosphere of fulfilled desire, the seed of manifestation can never fully germinate in the quantum field. The fundamental error of most seekers lies in reversing the creative flow. They seek external evidence, money, relationship, healing, to feel safe and whole, when universal law demands the opposite path. You must feel safe and whole now for the material reflection to be inevitable. Lying to the ego with the higher truth of your sovereignty, holding the conviction that you are the source, not the victim of your experience, is the hard but essential work. It is the internal discipline of monitoring every thought and emotion, ensuring that the frequency of your state of being does not drop from the vibration of gratitude for the victory already achieved, even in the midst of apparent adversity. Once this integration of belief and feeling has been cemented, when there is no longer hope, but rather an intimate, visceral knowledge of the desired reality, the pinnacle of manifestation is reached. Belief becomes an irrefutable magnet and feeling the driving force. However, at the threshold of materialization, the final test emerges, a subtle veil separating ultimate success from a return to the cycle of doubt, attachment. How does one cultivate relentless belief and the feeling of possessiveness without falling into the trap of neurotic attachment to how and when? And how does one execute the supreme art of detachment and total surrender to allow the released energy to complete its return cycle in physical form? The bridge between relentless faith and the supreme art of detachment lies in the conscious and sustained practice of gratitude, not as a mere act of social courtesy or a fleeting sentiment, but as the highest vibrational frequency a human being can sustain, the true master key to abundance. Gratitude is the energetic declaration that nullifies the premise of lack. When you express gratitude for what has already been received on the etheric plane, your state of being is instantly attuned to the resonance of complete possession. This emotional alchemy is crucial. Doubt operates on the low frequency of need. Gratitude operates on the quantum vibration of sufficiency. In giving thanks, you are not asking, you are confirming. This paradigm shift, moving consciousness from future desire to present conviction, is the fundamental mechanism that opens the channels for physical manifestation to flow without resistance, dissolving the neurotic attachment to how and when. Authentic gratitude is by nature a total surrender. If you are truly grateful for the desired reality, you inherently accept that this reality is already orchestrated on higher planes and that your intervention in the logistics is redundant and, in fact, obstructive. Gratitude disarms the ego and silences the voice of impatience, for impatience is the manifestation of covert disbelief. Only in the state of grace produced by deep and genuine gratitude is true detachment achieved, because the mind is no longer anchored to the need for the outcome as proof of worth or success, but rests in the certainty of source. This conscious letting go of tense expectation releases a vast amount of psychic energy that would otherwise be consumed by vigilance and anxiety, allowing that energy to act as a pure magnetic force that swiftly attracts the promised physical form. This frequency of gratitude operates like a magnet because it raises the individual's vibrational set point. Most seekers fail because they try to attract abundance from a place of scarcity. They desire money while vibrating in anxiety over debt. Gratitude interrupts this cycle of negative resonance. By feeling and expressing gratitude, even for the tiny, imperceptible blessings of the present moment, you are communicating to the unified field that your current condition is one of fullness, not lack. And since the law of resonance can only return what you send out, abundance must respond to the vibration of gratitude with more reasons to be grateful. It is the most powerful tool of expansion. The more grateful you are for the flowing water, the more the floodgates of the source itself open. However, mastery of this magnetic tool requires discipline and discernment, especially in moments of apparent emptiness or contradiction. The mentor cautions, do not confuse superficial gratitude for the obvious with the alchemical gratitude that transmutes adversity. The ultimate test is to sustain deep, visceral gratitude for the victory already manifested on the invisible plane, even when the physical senses report only lack and challenge. The advanced practitioner is not just grateful for the food on their table, but they are grateful for the infinite intelligence that is actively manifesting perfect health, unrestricted financial flow, and the desired relationship right now behind the veil. This unwavering conviction, armored by gratitude, is what finally subdues the ego and aligns it with the soul's higher purpose, transforming the perception of scarcity into the imminence of opulence. By cementing gratitude as your primary state of being, you not only open the channels of material reception, but you also refine your consciousness's ability to perceive and take advantage of opportunities that were previously invisible, blinded by the veil of complaint and judgment. Gratitude is the lens through which the universe shows itself infinitely generous. It frees you from the need to control giving, replacing effort with grace. But once this frequency of gratitude has been established, surrender executed, and manifestation precipitates, there remains one last dangerous internal sabotage lurking in the shadows of the subconscious. What happens when the mind fears the responsibility of abundance more than the familiar comfort of lack? And how do you uproot the hidden programming that demands self-sabotage on the threshold of ultimate success? Eradicating this self-sabotage requires mastery of internal coherence, which is the master frequency that dictates the reality of your manifestation. The aspirant's most common mistake is to believe that manifestation is a game of effort and mental repetition. It is, in truth, a game of precise resonance. As long as your mind formulates intention, desire, and your heart harbors doubt, lack, an energetic rift is created, a short circuit that not only halts the process, but actually attracts circumstances that validate that underlying doubt. Internal alignment is the dissolution of this rift. It requires that your thoughts, intention, your inner certainty, the vibration of your emotional field, and the energy projected into the universe be a monolithic unit, impervious to the illusion of physical scarcity or the disbelief of others. This total alignment is the only shield against self-sabotaging fear on the threshold of success. The primary obstacle to achieving and sustaining this coherence is the persistent addiction of consciousness to the narcotic of external validation. Seeking a sign in the sky, a third-party confirmation, or the first physical hint of manifestation in order to believe it is on its way, is ironically the vibrational declaration that you do not yet possess the truth. The universe, being a perfect mirror of your inner state, can only reflect your lack of absolute conviction. Always remember, energy follows certainty, not hope. When your certainty depends on the external world reconfiguring itself first, you have surrendered your creative power to temporary conditions. Alignment demands the audacity to feel and declare the reality of the fulfilled desire in the absolute present. Maintaining the integrity of that frequency regardless of what the physical eye or social opinion reports to you at the moment. This inner certainty should not be confused with repeated positive thinking, but should be understood as an existential condition, a form of unquestionable knowing. It is knowing with every cell of your being that infinite intelligence has already mobilized the resources to fulfill your desire, not because you deserve it or have earned it through effort, but simply because your vibrational field already contains that reality as a fait accompli. This certainty acts as an impregnable inner citadel. It is the point where the ego, with its fears, its calculations, and its narratives of inadequacy, loses its voice. When certainty is absolute, the energy emanating from you becomes a perfect magnet without the corrosive fluctuation of doubt that simultaneously pushes and repels desire. This is the radical difference between praying for something from a place of lack and simply being the version of yourself that already naturally possesses it. To forge this alignment in a practical way, you must begin making energetic and physical decisions that are congruently consistent with the identity of the one who has already manifested the desire. If you seek prosperity, but continue to make financial and emotional decisions from a victim, squeeze, or scarcity mindset, your action contradicts your intention, and manifestation dissolves into thin air. Your energy must be purified of outcome dependence. If your mood drops or fluctuates wildly whenever the external world doesn't cooperate within your dictated time frame, you are using the outcome or lack thereof as your internal barometer, disrupting master coherence. The advanced practitioner maintains the frequency, peace, joy, and expectation of the best before the best shows up. Cultivating a constant exercise of emotional detachment from the how and the when then. Inner alignment is, in essence, the total recovery of your spiritual and creative sovereignty. The master no longer looks outside. The only validation he needs is the unmistakable, silent resonance of his own inner truth. When your vibrational reality is so robust that the opinions of others, economic headlines, or statistics of failure are mere background noise, you have transcended the duality of effort and reward. You have learned to be the source from which your world emanates, affirming that the sole authority resides in your inner knowing. But this sovereignty, once established, faces the most subtle and powerful test, the temptation to use this immense creative power for purposes that are not the pure reflection of the soul, but the demands of a spiritual ego disguised as a higher purpose. How does the adept discern the difference between the divine will flowing through them and egoic ambition clothed in light? And what is the cosmic price of manifesting a desire that is not truly aligned with higher destiny? Discernment is not intellectual but vibrational. Egoic ambition requires constant vigilance and exhausting willpower to maintain form. It generates tension and anxiety about the outcome. Divine will, on the other hand, flows like an immense river through non-resistance. It neither pushes nor demands, only manifesting through the intrinsic truth of its being and sustaining peace, even in gestation. The cosmic price of misalignment is the existential emptiness that inevitably follows, even after material victory. For by forcing an outcome that is not the pure echo of the soul, the adept discovers that they have manifested a gilded prison, losing the only currency that matters: internal coherence and connection to source. The final enlightenment is this: real power lies not in the ability to obtain or acquire, but in the authority to be that which is already whole and self-sufficient. Your life is not an achievement to be forced by hand, but a symphony to be orchestrated with the frequency of the heart. Sovereignty is not dominion over others, but mastery over the self. It is the profound silence where there is nothing left to seek, nothing left to prove, because everything that exists is a resonant extension of your own transcendent identity. Now, if your reality is truly a holographic projection woven from the thread of your deepest consciousness, and if time is merely the illusion that allows for the sequencing of experience, I ask you, what crucial manifestation will you hold back today? Out of simple fear or residual attachment to the limiting narrative of your past, this knowledge cannot be retained in the individual vessel. We decree that this transmission serve as a beacon of global illumination, elevating the morphic field of all humanity. If this wisdom has ignited your spark, you have a cosmic obligation to expand it. Share this portal of understanding with those who seek the truth without reservation. Subscribe to the channel to anchor your presence in this elevated frequency of knowledge and activate the sacred fate of notifications so that no decree of the universe will catch you unprepared. Your journey of elevation does not tolerate pauses or static contemplation. The next step, the practical culmination of this phase of ascension, is coded and ready to be experienced. Turn now, without delay, to the following video, where we will reveal the exact practice for integrating sovereignty and fluidity into your material daily life. To delay your step risks closing the vibrational portal you have just opened. Revelation awaits you in the continuity. Continue